Hey guys, in this video I wanted to show you how you could come up with your net ionic equation from a word equation. Alright, so if you look at this first one here, I've given you an example of an acid carbonate reaction. So in this case you've got sulfuric acid reacting with barium carbonate, and the products are barium sulfate, carbon dioxide and water. So that's basically the main reaction. When you get an acid and a carbonate, any acid and any carbonate will produce a salt, water and carbon dioxide. So in this first example, the acid is sulfuric acid, the carbonate is barium carbonate, and the salt is barium sulfate, carbon dioxide and water you generically put there. The next step is you need to convert your word equation into a chemical equation where you need to write down the correct formula. So if you look at sulfuric acid, that's H2SO4, barium carbonates, barium BaCO3, barium sulfate is BaSO4, carbon dioxide CO2, and water is H2O. All right, now in order for you to write down the correct chemical formula, you need to be very familiar with your valencies of cations, anions, and polyatomic anions and cations. The next thing you need to do is to make sure you write down the appropriate state symbol, which is aqueous, gas, liquid or solid. In this question, sulfuric acid is aqueous, barium carbonate is aqueous, barium sulfate is aqueous, carbon dioxide is a gas, and water is a liquid. The next thing you need to do is you need to work out if the equation is balanced. In this question, however, the equation is balanced, so you don't need to add any coefficients, all right? And if you want to confirm, you can work out how many water molecules are in your reactant side and how many are in your product side. Work out how many oxygen molecules, so in this case, you've got 3 and 4. That's 7, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, all right? Barium's 1, 2, sulfate's 1, 1. So therefore, the equation is balanced. If the equation is not balanced, then you need to add your respective coefficients to ensure that your products and reactants have the same number of atoms. The next step is you now need to work out your net ionic equation, and you only do that with aqueous substances. You don't do it with solids, gases and liquids. So if you look at this equation here, you need to break that down: sulfuric acid, barium carbonate and barium sulfate. So you break down sulfuric acid to 2H plus because that's H2, and SO4 2 minus because that's the valency of sulfate, barium's 2 plus because it's a group 2 element, carbonate is CO3 2 minus, Ba2 plus, SO4 2 minus, carbon dioxide is a gas and water is a liquid, hence you don't split them up. The next thing you need to do is to identify your spectator ions. So if you look at here, sulfur is present in your reactant side as well as your product side. Barium's present in your product as well as your reactant, and there's a rule said the reason why they're spectator is they don't actually fully take part in the ionization process, so therefore we need to get rid of them. Sometimes you can cross out. I've just put the circle to show you which ones are the spectator ions, and once you cross them out, you're going to come up with 2H plus CO3 2 minus to produce carbon dioxide and water. Please note, when you're writing down the net ionic equation, you need to write down the valencies, all right, of the substances that are aqueous. Carbon dioxide and water, that's gas and liquid, so you don't need to write that down. And the other bit here is you need to put your state symbol because that's aqueous, and carbonate aqueous, and that's your gas, and that's your liquid. You've got to make sure that that equation is balanced. So if you look, 2 plus 1, 3, there's a 3 there, there's 1 carbon, there's 1 carbon, and there's 2 hydrogens. So therefore, that's how you balance net ionic equations. Thank you. Bye now.